There we go.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock in Alabama.
Sweet home Alabama.
On a Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock.
Central Time.
It is the 22nd of April. And boy, oh boy, has this month flown by.
April has gone by fast.
But I must say this. Last week was like slow to me. Last week took forever. I thought it was Monday every day. Did you feel like that?
This month's gone by fast. So this
It
one's
has.
a quick one. March seems slow.
Not
April.
Just never know. And everybody's got something different going on, so nobody feels the same way that the next person does. Your week might have gone by super fast while mine went by super slow. That's last week now. This week, it's already Tuesday.
Ain't
and I hadn't even blinked yet.
I just did.
And it's Wednesday. No, y'all, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Hope everybody's having a good day wherever you are. And it's not raining, but it's quite gloomy outside. A little bit north of here is getting some much needed rain, and I just was hoping for a little bit.
I thought we was going to get some.
Last night, I just knew it was going to rain. Before we went to bed, I could, see it on the radar, but it was north of us.
And it just
stayed north of us.
We need some rain.
But, we went to our favorite lunch spot today.
We did.
Main Street Cafe, that Meeting 3. And they said, they had some problems with their roof here recently. And I said, I see y'all are getting your roof repaired today. And they said, you know what? It rained last night and it didn't leak. So we're happy we got to come to work today.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't rain where we are. But it rained in the city.
Talking about Main Street, you and I, the other morning, decided to go eat breakfast at Main Street.
There was a reason for that, too.
What was the reason?
We were going to get your star on the driver's license, remember?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we're going to get that. That didn't work out. But, we had breakfast there, and it was funny because you said the last time you had breakfast at an old-timey diner was with Granddaddy.
With Jason's granddaddy, who's no longer with us. I can't tell you when that was, but it was a long time ago. And Granddaddy and I went in a little restaurant in Selma, and at the time it was called Southern Girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I could remember what we were doing out and about so early that morning, but I don't remember. But I do remember our conversation, and I remember our good time that we had having breakfast that morning. He had his eggs over easy and he broke that yolk and stirred it all around in his grits, drank his black coffee, and it was just a memory that just came flooding back to me as Jason and I were eating breakfast.
Yep, and it's my memory came back to me I almost told you the last time I remember having an old-fashioned, it's the old diner, I call it like an old diner breakfast.
Right.
And was probably with Granddaddy. When I was a little kid, we used to go to a diner called the Pancake House. And it was locally owned diner. And they served everything. They served lunch and dinner too. But we'd always go eat breakfast. And that's when I told you Granddaddy would pour his coffee in a saucer.
Yeah.
And drink it out of a saucer.
I don't remember him doing that with me that day, though.
Mm-hmm.
I remember he had black coffee. But I remember him as much as I can remember that day. I remember him drinking it out of a coffee cup that they supplied him with. But I have fond memories of your granddaddy. I grew up without having a granddaddy in my life, and when I met your granddaddy, he really did. I mean, of course, I was older then, but he filled that void for me that I had never had with the granddaddy, because I just enjoyed our time together so much, and so thankful that I got to see that part of him.
Yep. But going to the Main Street breakfast was like stepping back in time, really, for both of us.
It was. Well, I never did that with anybody but your granddaddy.
The breakfast was delicious. The coffee was good. Everything was good. And so much so that me and you said that we're going to do that at least once a month.
Mary Carl didn't go with us. As a matter of
Mm-mm.
fact, we snuck out so early. They open at like 4:30 in the morning. We snuck out so early that she wouldn't have wanted to go with us.
Yep.
But when we got back, we told her, how good it was. And she said, next time I want to go. So next time we'll make sure
she goes.
That it's daylight and she's up. And but y'all, mine was $5.99. And that is just about the price of a McDonald's biscuit these days.
It is. I was shocked, and we both got separate things, but I got grits.
Well, we got
eggs.
the same meal.
Yeah, it was grits, eggs, and bacon.
And your choice of
your choice of drink.
No,
mine was $6.99.
It was eggs, whatever way you choose.
Mm-hmm.
A meat of your choice, whether it be bacon, sausage, or bologna. And then it was grits and choice of drink. I got water. I wish I hadn't after you told me how good the coffee was, but I just always drink water or drink coffee at home. We had already had
coffee.
But next time I'm getting coffee. Now, when they had a sign on the counter for weeks after week that due to the cost of eggs, we have increased the price by $1, but it's back down.
Yep.
The price of the breakfast is, if you get water, $5.99. If you don't get water, $6.99. But y'all, it was incredible. I could eat there every day. I mean, I wouldn't be able to sit on this couch, but it was good.
It was so good. It was
awesome. Oh, biscuit or toast.
That's right. You got biscuit or toast too.
Biscuit or toast. That's a lot of food.
It was a lot of food. It was a lot of food.
I could not cook it for that. I can tell you that. I guess if I cook for a big family, that'd be one thing. But to buy it and just cook for me and you, we're going to let Main Street take care of it.
It was good.
And I'm talking about some service that you cannot
it's always good
duplicate.
There. The service is always good there. And I guess because the same people go in, they know you.
It's Main Street Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Main Street Cafe.
Downtown Clanton.
They're open Monday through Friday for breakfast and lunch, Sunday for lunch only.
Yep.
And it's just, I just don't ever want to forget the little old meat and three places and the breakfast places. They're not a dime a dozen anymore like
it used to be.
Around here anyway. Mm-mm. And you kind of pick your favorite. We've got two that are side by side, and it's not that the next one doesn't have good food. It's just that you get accustomed to going somewhere.
That's right.
And that's where you choose to go.
That's right. It was good. It was really good. Except we didn't get the cup on a saucer. We got just a regular
well, mine was water.
Yeah. It was a regular coffee cup.
Yeah, and I guess
like a ceramic coffee cup.
And I guess that's why Granddaddy drank his out of that cup, because that's the way his was.
Yep.
I got my eggs scrambled. You did too, didn't you?
I got my eggs scrambled, but I almost got them like Granddaddy got them, but I didn't. I ended up getting them scrambled.
We were going somewhere, and I told Jason, I said, "You certainly don't want to get your stomach messed up." I don't know.
We were going to get the store.
Oh, we were going to get this. No, we'd already been to the courthouse, hadn't we? Yeah.
Well, that's where we were headed.
Y'all, the courthouse didn't open till 9, so we thought we were going to get there at 8:30. We were going to be smart, and we were going to be the first ones in line. So we were in two separate cars because I had to drop the truck off to get the oil changed, or the Subaru off to get the oil changed. So when Jason was driving his truck, I was driving the car, and I got to the courthouse first because I thought I was going to be waiting on him.
That's right.
There.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go through a little thing, put your stuff up there and make sure you don't have any weapons or whatnot. And I go down to the driver's license office, and there are chairs on both sides of the hall with people sitting, and there are standing room only. And I turned around and I sent Jason a text. I said, "Don't even try to park. We can't do this today."
Standing room only.
But they're only open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Yeah.
So, it's oh goodness.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nick says that Mackenzie or Zoe gets her license tomorrow.
Yes.
Well, be ready.
So I went to a birthday party over the weekend for Miss Mackenzie. It was very nice at their church in Clanton. And Mackenzie is 16.
16
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So she had her party a little bit early. Of course, Zoe made the Dewey made the wonderful cake. It was a strawberry chocolate, and it was a good time. So I told them while we were sitting there chatting, I said, you might want to take Mackenzie somewhere where you can make an appointment because you're going to sit there.
You're going to sit there. That's what Mary Alice said, make an appointment. Well, we looked at appointments.
You can't do that in Clanton.
There's only certain ones we can make appointments at, and they're at least an hour away. And
so I looked at Montgomery, which is our closest city, and to make an appointment in Montgomery, Alabama was July.
Yeah.
That's the first available. And then in bigger cities such as Birmingham, it was on into August and September before you could get an available appointment. So that's not going to work either, but it was a good shot. And Birmingham's an hour and a half from us. So, I was willing to drive, but not if you're going to wait till August and September.
Yep. So, it looks like for me to get my real ID that I'm just going to have to wait a little bit, or I guess we're just going to have to wait to make an appointment later, or just sit out there with everybody else.
Zoe could probably make you one.
You can't do your real ID online.
No, you can't do the Star ID online. Not in Alabama.
Not in Alabama. Not in Alabama.
And it's just that this deadline's upon us. They've been saying for a long time that such and such date you're gonna have to have it. Well, it's been extended so many times that people didn't really, I don't think, took it seriously. And now that it's May the 7th, you can't fly without it or go into a federal building without having that ID. So, I guess all these people that get called for jury duty will just get turned away if they don't have the Star.
I guess so.
That's a federal building, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Can't prove who I am. Send me home.
Yep.
They're going to be.
I think I got all my requirements. Somebody said, be sure you take all your requirements.
We've carried it several times.
We got it all packed up and ready.
Matter of fact, it's still in the car waiting on our next attempt. Right.
Yep.
Well, eventually we'll get there.
Somebody said you can do your passport online, which is much faster.
Well, every time I go in the post office in Clanton, somebody's getting a passport. Huh. And I don't think every post office you can get a passport, but the Clanton post office you can.
I may look into that.
You gonna get a passport?
It says you can use your passport.
Yeah, but a passport's like $299.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's expensive.
I thought it was free.
No. When we went to the Dominican Republic, we were trying to figure out the trip was free, but we had to buy the passport, so it really wasn't free.
$60.
Really?
Well, 130. There's a $35 fee for the first time, which was not a first time. We've already had one. $30 for a renewal.
So only $30.
Because we got old passports.
We got old passports.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank y'all.
10 years ago, it was $185.
Yeah. It was expensive when we got ours. And ours was 15 years ago is when we got it.
A U.S. passport book is $130.
We got the book. We just need a renewal.
We need a renewal.
Okay. Well, there y'all go. We love y'all for other reasons besides telling us to get a passport. Expedited processing.
$60.
But you already got one, so I think they just current it.
Interesting. $125 for theirs, $100. So I'm thinking we're going to be up there. Yep. Michael said just don't leave the farm.
Well,
I can do that too.
He's going to have a hard time if he gets jury duty or if we have to go in a federal.
For me and my wife, it was $600 total for passport.
Yeah, it was expensive when we had to go because
that was land and air.
We were thinking, the trip was, you won the trip.
Yeah.
But then we had to buy the passports because we went to the Dominican Republic. Never have used it again.
Yep.
But we got them just in case.
If you get just the passport card, it's less.
What do you need a card? We got the book.
We got the book. So maybe you put the card in the book. I don't know. We got to do some research. That might be my route.
It might be. I wonder if you can go to the post office to renew it.
Oh no, I will start looking online for this.
Boy, that would be a savior, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't that? We could.
Yeah, $60. What they pay? $60 for the post office.
Post office.
Okay.
What's the star for?
You just have to read.
You had to Google it.
Yeah, it's better than us trying to talk about it because you have to have it in order to fly or get in.
Yes,
federal
go
buildings.
to the post office to renew. Even though if your passport's really old.
Well, I mean, ours is 15 years old. It's blue. It still looks like a passport would today.
And we got friends at the post office.
I saw her there today, as a matter of fact.
So they'll tell us what to do.
A nice lady sent us some candy for the horses, and I went to go check to see if it had arrived. And she's actually retiring this month.
So we definitely need to go this month.
Yeah, not that she can pull any strings, but she's really
she would just be nice.
And everybody that works there is always
they
nice.
are.
So and knowledgeable. It's not like one person's, nicer than the other.
Your existing passport can be at least 10 years old to get it renewed online. I have to look at ours. We got ours in the safe.
It's 15 years old. Mary Carl was less than a year old.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah. But don't they last like 6 years? How long does a passport last? It lasts a long time.
A year.
Passport lasts a long
time. Ours
is
expired, needless to say.
I know it's expired, but it lasts a long time.
You can't if it's expired.
Okay. I'm about to get a new one. We'll take the stuff. 10 years. Passport lasts 10 years.
So ours is expired.
There you go.
Can we renew it?
No, it's expired, so you can't renew it.
So we got to get another one?
We got to get another one.
Oh, we don't want to do that. That costs too much money.
It's either that or wait in line for 3.5 hours.
But listen, if passports aren't quick. You can't get a passport in a month. You have to pay for expedited service. I'm in the post office all the time when people go in there.
Do you?
They say, how quick do you need it? Because it's going to be at least 3 weeks to a month before this comes in. You can pay for expedited, or you can go to Atlanta and get it in that day.
U.S. passport is 4 to 6 weeks.
Exactly. So you pay for expedited service and you can get it in 2.
Yep. You can reduce it to 2 weeks if you pay the extra $60. So there you go.
We just not doing all that. I think we're just going to have to go and spend a whole day at the courthouse. And I hope it rains. Don't you?
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure it out. It's okay. But I tell you what's going to happen.
They said in Florida they got their star ID by the mail.
Y'all got lucky.
Yeah.
And that's what we're finding is it's different everywhere.
It is. They got their passport in 4 weeks and didn't expedite it.
Don't know, y'all.
We'll see.
Well, you got to have a star in order to get in federal building or to fly on an airplane. And maybe y'all aren't doing either of those, but
that's what somebody said. Just wait till after the deadline's over and the courthouses will be cleared and you can just
until they figure out that they can't do something, and then they'll be piled back up.
That's right.
Nebraska's by mail. I don't know if they're talking about the passport or the. Anyway, okay, we'll get it figured out.
Nebraska's by mail. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
That's why I said that doesn't make sense, because the whole reason that they're doing the star ID is to make it across the board, because they're saying some states are more lenient about what you need to do to get a driver's license, but each state's still different on this whole star ID. I mean, it's
crazy.
Makes zero sense.
It's yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I gotta give a shout out to my main man Derek.
Yeah.
At the Flying Peach. And I tell you what I want you guys to do. When this is over with, they got a Facebook page and they got an Instagram. The Flying Peach Barbecue.
I think it just says the Flying Peach, doesn't it?
And I think it says BBQ on it.
All right, let's look.
But
it's one of my last looked up things, I guarantee you.
But they are absolutely
Flying Peach BBQ.
Flying Peach BBQ right here.
This is the Facebook. I'll never get it on Instagram because I don't know how to work that yet. Flying Peach BBQ.
Mm-hmm.
Go like that page.
All right, Laura. Thank you. She said the Selma License Department was smooth sailing. Very much improved. Did you get your star ID? Send Brooke a text.
Please do, Laura.
Send Brooke a text.
And y'all say a prayer and some good vibes and all that stuff for Laura's husband, Chip.
Yes.
Laura at Simply Making It's husband, Chip, had a complete knee replacement today. So I know he's probably a little bit sore. And Laura is being a wonderful nurse to her husband, Chip. So
yep.
We hope it's a quick repair and 100% working knee when Chip's recovered.
That's right.
Yeah, Laura, send me a text and tell me, because we have been hesitant about coming to have the driver's license renewed in Selma because they had some issues earlier. But I think that may have all been straightened out, which
That's
would
right.
be perfect if so.
Yep. Send Brooke a text. But Derek over at the Flying Peach, y'all, he did an amazing job on Willie, our rescue horse Willie. And Willie is getting better. I believe he's getting better. Probably gonna have to have him looked at again. But just Derek just is awesome. He's gentle, he's kind, he's so sweet to the horses.
But you know, not to sound ugly, he can't take on any more clients.
Oh no, he can't.
We're gonna make sure we said that because
that's right.
Derek, you know, he's at his max limit. He takes care of a lot of horses, and they also own the Flying Peach Barbecue, so they're busy both night and day.
They are. But if y'all would, y'all go over, they'll get tickled. Y'all go over there and tell them, thank you, Derek, for helping out Willie.
Thank you, Derek, for fixing Willie's feet.
Yep.
Whatever you want to say will be fine by us.
That's right.
But Derek's an awesome farrier and also an awesome smoker. Not cigarettes either. He don't smoke cigarettes, I do not believe.
Barbecuer.
Yeah, Jason and Caden had some ribs Saturday that Derek cooked. And he's not doing ribs every single weekend, and I understand why.
Yeah.
Because he has to get up a lot earlier. Y'all, he gets up at like 2:00 in the morning to start these food items that he smokes, from barbecue chicken to Boston butts to this weekend ribs. And Nick wants to know where his ribs at, Jason.
Hey, man, they were good too.
Well, Caden didn't eat all his. He took his home with him.
I ate all mine.
I told Caden, I said, I'm worried about you eating all this food. Now, you might not be able to work when you get finished.
I ate all mine.
He had some peach cobbler too, and he took that with him.
It was good. They were good. Nick, they were all, I'll tell you what, it's some of the best ribs I've ever eaten, and that's no lie. That's no lie whatsoever.
Yeah, Caden said, I did not eat a rib plate. I was trying to watch my diet that day, and I just went by what y'all said. The ribs were great.
Caden liked them.
I don't think there was anything but bones left when Jason got finished. But
it was good.
Derek is on to something with the rib plate, and they are only open on Friday and Saturday, that's until sold out.
Until sold out, and they always sell out.
They always sell out. You know, he went for a long time there thinking you need to make enough food so everybody can come get some, but it got to where they'd pack some up and they couldn't sell it the next day.
That's right. So
now they've realized that they just go until sold out, and that's the best way to do it.
And I also want to say this too about Caden. He wore regular shoes on both feet,
and I did not even notice it.
I noticed it.
I did not even notice it. Do they have beef ribs as well? I asked you if you thought it was pork or beef, and you thought they were beef, didn't you?
Caden thought they were beef. I thought they were pork.
We'll have to ask Derek. We'll have to ask Derek, are they pork or beef?
Oh, man. But they were good. They were so good. They were delicious. Absolutely delicious.
And he may do them every other weekend because that's what we found. We were going to get some the week before, and he didn't do them. And he said, Brooke, I just got to get up so much earlier if I'm going to do ribs. And I understand it. So they usually put it on Facebook if they're having ribs that day. And Tammy makes all the sides. That's his wife. And desserts. Don't forget about those wonderful desserts. And they got sweet tea to go along with it. It's a good place.
It's a meal.
And y'all, when we first moved here, of course, we didn't know what that was. We saw a sign, Flying Peach. Wonder what that is, Flying Peach. So the longer we lived here, the more we traveled that road. And then we started seeing cars come out of it during the summer. And they're not open in the winter months. They're only open in the summer months. They tried to be open in the winter. But we started seeing cars come out of there, and we figured out that was a restaurant.
Yep.
And little to no time, we were eating at the Flying Peach a lot. And they were open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday back then. But they, like all of us, are getting older, and they just need to slow down some. And we understand that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, it was and they used to they're way busier now.
Oh yeah. They're busy.
Word got around.
Word got around. Well, I mean, you know that good barbecue word travels.
They are way busier now.
Mary Carl, she'll eat barbecue, but it's few and far between when she eats all of it. And Derek's barbecue is one that she will eat and enjoy it.
That's right.
So her macaroni and cheese is awesome. And we could go on and on. We're making y'all hungry, and I'm getting hungry too.
That's right. Oh, goodness.
So we marked something down on our website a little bit ago. Speaking of food, before I forget, we put the candy on sale that is remaining, and that is Loretta's Piggy Pops and Jesse's Donkey Duds.
That's right.
This is the last of that freeze-dried candy, and it won't be any more after this is gone. So Jacqueline did put it on sale. It's on the website if you guys are interested in it, because we're going to have those say, why don't y'all have that anymore? And this is last call. When it's gone, it's gone. And guess what? Since we're talking about Laura, peach soap is back in stock.
Peach soap's back in stock. It was sold out.
Sold out, but it's back in stock. Miss Laura's been hard at work making peach soap, and just wanted to let everybody know that if that's something that's on your list, go get it, because it is limited again. She can only make so many bars because it has to cure, whatnot.
Yep.
And the last thing is April the 26th, which is that Saturday? I think that's.
Oh, gosh, bro.
I think it's Saturday. Anyway, April the 26th, whatever day that is, we will retire
Saturday
the Let's Root for Each Other, Bells of the Barnyard, and Plant These for the Bees. Those designs will be no more. So if that's something you want, get it. And there's a few gift sets remaining. The little cute little peach bags with the lotion. Right. And there's a few of those left. So I just am letting y'all know that. Also, no Tater Baby. I'm saying
no Tater Baby. No Tater Baby. Also, Antiques in the Garden.
Antiques in the Garden
is Friday and Saturday.
At Petals from the Past.
Yes.
So if that's something that you guys are interested in going to, there's not a YouTube meet and greet then.
Right.
But it will still be a big event with lots of vendors, and Petals from the Past puts on a beautiful display, and of course all their roses
are going to be blooming. It's going to be absolutely beautiful, beautiful there. And they've been doing Antiques in the Garden for many years.
Yes.
So it's always a fun day over there. We're going to maybe try to make it if we can, but we'll see how our schedule works out. If we can cut loose, we're going to maybe run over there, but can't promise anything.
That's right. Yeah. We would hate to say we're going to be there and then somebody driving us say, well, I didn't see you there.
Right.
But we're not staying all day. If we do go, it'll just be a pop in and pop out.
See how things are going over there and that kind of thing.
That's right. Yep. That's right. But we are, Tracy has had some health issues.
Yes.
This year, and she just was not in a position where she could organize a spring and a fall event. So September the 20th is
the meet and greet this year.
It's the meet and greet, and it will be various YouTube channels. They're still working on the lineup, but that should be out soon as to who's doing what. Is any of the soap antibacterial? I don't think so. I don't think that Laura has
Gosh dang it. Y'all, I'm sorry. We got a spammer. Sorry.
I don't think Laura has any antibacterial soap. I know that nothing that we have available is antibacterial. Did it work, Jason?
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Sorry about that.
But and I've never known of Laura to make anything. I could be telling a story. The African blue basil. Would Petals from the Past have the African blue basil?
More likely, yes.
But you are always welcome to call, and they can probably tell you whether they have that. But yes, that is something that they take cuttings from, and it goes in the greenhouse all winter. And so they should have African blue basil just like this Jason does.
I'm going to plant mine very soon, too.
Very soon.
Very soon. I know people are saying all soap's antibacterial.
Well, it's not labeled antibacterial. Sometimes when we buy our kitchen hand soap,
soap kills germs.
It does, but it's not labeled antibacterial. So I don't know if she would say that it's antibacterial because it's not marketed as soap. I don't know. I don't know about that. The post office is the post office a federal building? Well, you don't have to show an ID to get in a post office.
Yes, if I guess
It's if you
you have
were
to
having to show an
your
ID to get into a federal
Mhm.
building.
That's what. And if you want to fly within the United States,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
Mm.
Or probably international from a United States airport.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure Dial was the first antibacterial soap. Now, when I was growing up, I had a buddy of mine named Alan, and we were really good buddies. And he told me this, and his dad said the same thing. Was that Dial had a contest a long time ago, and the contest was for their slogan,
Mm-hmm.
and his grandma entered the contest, and allegedly her slogan was picked. And if I'm not mistaken, it was, "Aren't you glad you used Dial, and don't you wish everybody else did?" I think that I may be wrong on that, but that's the one that pops in my head. So, and then I've always thought, as I gotten older, when I saw a Dial commercial, whatever, if they just may have been pulling my leg,
Maybe.
but I don't know now.
Thinking back on soap when you were growing up,
Yeah,
it's funny to me thinking back, and your parents always bought the same thing.
yeah.
My family was an Ivory soap user.
Mm-hmm.
The soap that floats.
Soap that floats.
The soap that floats. That's what we use. What did you use? You better know.
I better know.
Because if not, your mom bought something different every week.
No, she bought a lot of. I remember Dial, and I remember Dove.
So she bought different kinds.
Well, I think the Dial we use Ivory too. I think we got the cheap soap, me and my brother.
Oh.
And Mama got the Dove. And I'm pretty sure if me and Joy ran out,
then you got Mama.
Then we got the Dove. Yeah.
Well, maybe the Dove was for washing the mouse out. That's what we kept it. Yeah. But isn't that something how everybody, just got used to using one particular thing?
Oh yeah.
And if Daddy had to go to the store,
I remember Zest too.
It was green, wasn't it?
I remember Coast, because Coast had the logo, had the winking eye on it.
Now, see, I don't remember that. I just remember.
I think I just remember the commercials.
Oh goodness!
I just remember the commercials. So nostalgic. I just remember the commercials, which reminds me of this right here. So a pen. So I saw this today. So this was the top 15 shows on April 1979. So coming in at number 1 was Laverne and Shirley.
Okay.
Then we got Three's Company. And listen, this was ABC was on fire back then. We got Happy Days was number 3. 60 Minutes. Mork and Mindy, which I loved Mork and Mindy.
Is this only ABC or
no? It was all
networks.
The top 3 were ABC, but ABC had 4 of the top 5.
Wow.
Yeah. All in the Family, Taxi. What else we got? One Day at a Time. I remember every one of these. One Day at a Time, except Delta House. I have never heard of Delta House in my life. And it was number 9 on ABC.
But you were only 4 years old then.
But I still remember these shows. MASH, Dallas.
Yeah, I recognize all of. What's One Day at a Time?
The Ropers. You don't remember One Day at a Time? I remember One Day at a Time. The Dukes of Hazzard was 12. Alice was 14. And Charlie's Angels was 15. But I do not remember the Delta House. Do you guys remember the Delta House?
I don't remember.
I just don't remember Delta House.
And what was it ranked?
It was 9.
Huh. And what was the one after that?
MASH.
Huh. You would think that maybe...
Delta Burke started. Well, that makes sense. I was thinking it was like a military movie, because I was thinking like Delta Force and Chuck Norris.
Wow.
But Delta House was Delta Burke. So that makes sense now. So no, I don't remember. I do remember. I've never heard of Delta House.
We'll have to.
But every single one of these shows I know or have watched at some point.
Well, I've heard of all of them except for that one that I said.
The Delta House.
No, I said One Day at a Time. I don't remember what that was.
One day at a time. I remember One Day at a Time. I want to hear though. Alice, of course, the Dukes
They
of
said
Hazzard
the
would have been my
Delta
favorite.
House was hysterical.
So it was it was a comedy.
I guess so.
It was a comedy. Definitely remember Dukes of Hazzard. So that'd probably be my number one favorite on here.
Oh, mine too, by far.
Mork and Mindy would be up there. Then I loved Alice because that Kiss My Grits. That was Flo.
I like Three's Company.
Three's Company was really good too, and that's where the Ropers was a spinoff of Three's Company.
Okay, I was wondering if that was Jack.
That's the landlord.
Yeah. What was his first name?
Mr. Roper.
Yeah, but what was his first name?
I don't remember his first name. I just remember Mr. Roper.
Oh goodness. I remember Mr. Roper, but I thought he went by his first name some too.
Maybe he did. I can't remember that. Yep.
Interesting, Jason.
Yeah, isn't that something? 1979. They don't make them like they used to, though, do they?
No, they don't.
No. I can't believe the Jeffersons must have been after this. After I don't know when the Jeffersons came out, but I can't believe the Jeffersons.
And when was Different Strokes?
Different Strokes would have been the early 80s.
Stanley
Roper, that's right.
Stanley. Yes. Because that woman that was married
Stanley.
Stanley. How did we?
The Jeffersons was before this. Okay. But I remember the Jeffersons all day long.
I do too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we would have been less than 3 and 4 years old.
Yeah.
You would think that it would still have been running after those years. Or, in the running for the top 10 at least.
So I see Dallas is on here, but what about, Falcon Crest and...
what was that one? Knots Landing?
Knots Landing. So that must have been...
Maybe that was after
Maybe it was after this.
Maybe they made a spinoff. Stanley Roper. Yep.
Jeffersons were in 1975. Well, how many seasons was the Jeffersons? I feel like it went on for longer than 4 years, though.
Yeah, you would think. See, All in the Family.
Oh, yeah, when MASH came on, if you was awake and a kid at MASH came on, you better be asleep soon. I can tell you that.
Still no calf.
Still no calf.
Still no calf. Helen and Stanley.
That's right.
All right, Catherine. So if Helen ever gets a husband, her name's going to be Stanley. Or either Mr. Roper.
Oh, me.
She could name him Stanley, and then when they have children, they can be known as the Ropers. Oh, goodness.
Oh,
so, y'all, Mr. Greg came over the other day with his partner, Miss Lee, and they were both driving a dump truck full of dirt that we explained to y'all that we're going to have a shop built over here, and we just want to have the dirt here when it needs to get done. And when they got here, Lee and I always enjoy talking because Lee likes heavy equipment like I do.
That's right.
She has a CDL. She drives a dump truck. They actually have 2 dump trucks. So Lee can drive one. Mr. Greg can drive one. And Lee gets out and we get to talking. And she says, "Wow, you got that bridge off the trailer." And I said, "Yes." I said, "I did." I said, "But Jason didn't like the thought of us, attempting to get it off because he thought something might happen." And so we used the forks and we made sure, we were safe, and we got it off, and she got to talking, and she said, "Look," she said, "Greg has bought a different bulldozer." And she said, "It is so much fun." Now, he's had this bulldozer a couple of months because I remember when he got it.
I think this bulldozer's got a cab and air conditioning.
This bulldozer is jam up. It's electronic, basically. And so I told her, I said, "I'd do better with that old dozer than I would the new one." And she said, "I'm going to find out." So they were doing some work for somebody, and it was a lady that they knew. And so their job is to take out all these trees in front of this house and regain the land because it had really overgrown.
Right.
And Lee said, "You know what time I got out of that bulldozer?" And I said, "What time?" Greg was going. He said, "I told her I'm going home and I'm going to bed," because it was midnight when she got out of that dozer.
It was midnight. She couldn't stop.
She couldn't stop, and y'all, we are so similar when it comes to things like that. She
couldn't stop.
And she assured me, she said, I'm gonna get that dozer over there one day, and me and you we're gonna go to work. And I said, girl, as long as we don't tear something up, we'll be doing good. But I thought it was so interesting to hear her story about her working on the dozer, and Greg's just like Jason, just sitting over there shaking his head.
That's funny. Oh goodness. So they're saying that Delta House was a spinoff the movie Animal House, which is about a sorority house.
Oh, okay.
That's what they're saying. That's been there right there. So, that's right there. But I want to show everybody what I got in the mail this week or last week. So I got a Firebird, but it's
a mail order Firebird.
It's a mail order Firebird. So somebody sent me the model, and I do thank you so much. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be fun. Look at here, right here. And let me tell you, it says this is level 4. Now I don't know what the levels go up to yet. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I'm thinking 5 because this is level 4. I don't know what 5 looks like. Because if this is a level 4, y'all look, the car is not even. I gotta paint it. I mean, this thing is gonna be shown up right here now.
When we're sitting at the courthouse waiting to get your license, we could plop down in the floor and put this Firebird together.
Oh my gracious.
We're going to smell the whole place up because I'm sure, is it snapped together or is it glue?
Oh no, this is going to be glue, girl.
Well, we're going to smell the whole place up and probably going to kick us out.
Glue. I mean, even the seats are white. I can make the seats have got to be red because that's what color.
Well, you're going to have to paint the interior before you get the exterior on.
Probably I'll just paint it all.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to have to do it before you put it together.
Oh yeah. It's got to be painted to put together. But
I know what you can do.
What's that?
You can get Mary Carl to paint it for you, and then you can put it together at the courthouse.
You're probably about right.
Because I'm gonna help you. What you looking for?
Oh, make sure it came with, and it does came with stickers too.
Right, and it came with instructions.
Yeah, it came with instructions.
I hope
I'm going to get started on this.
Oh, yeah. Level 4 is a more experienced model crafter. But that's all right. Somebody waiting in line will know how to help us too. So
you're probably right.
We'll just make it a community event, and you get your license, and you get to put a spoke on, goodness. Or you get to do something. Put a headlight on, put a wheel on.
That's something.
We'll make it fun for everybody.
Are the wheels?
I don't know if they're the gold spoke or you got to paint them.
Oh, there they are.
Okay. You got to paint them too.
They're chrome.
Oh, we won't paint them.
No.
We won't paint them.
That's close enough.
Somebody said, just get Mick Rod to do all of it. That's a good idea. Or either we could just take it to the license office and say, does anybody want to put this thing together?
You know what? What could end up happening is we can have a Smoking the Bandit model putting together party at the courthouse. And everybody can have their own. Somebody can have the drivetrain and put it together.
Oh, yeah.
And we can all just have us a little kumbaya circle going on there.
I'm telling you, they're going to kick us out when we get the paint out because I know it's going to stink.
Maybe I'll have it painted before we go.
No, the glue is what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, that glue's rough now.
Yeah.
We all might be feeling good when it get up there to get our star ID by then. Though,
well, as long as the driver's license attendant is feeling good, that's all that matters. We don't need no rude people when you go to get your license.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Because she's a one-man show.
That's going to be fun, though. I'm going to enjoy that. I'm going to enjoy that.
And Mary Carl was interested in it when we showed it to her. She said
she was interested in it.
She wanted it. And you know what's going to happen? We're going to start getting all kind of model cars. Mary Carl's birds are not affected because we would do that in the den and all the doors would be shut. We wouldn't do it in her room or near the birds.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That is a good point, though. Yeah, you wouldn't do that if you had birds nearby. And we don't need Rocky and Bandit's help either, so we probably won't need to do it on the front porch. They would be way too much help. So did y'all see the video of the chicken that crows?
I'm sure they did.
If you didn't, you really ought to go watch it. It was a few videos ago, and I'm here to tell y'all that girl crowed for like 3 days straight before I told Jason. I said, "You've got to record this. You've got to show this hen that's acting like a rooster, because she means it."
It's funny.
It's funny.
It's always so funny. I've never heard. Well, I've only heard this is the
Second
hen, and it does not sound like a rooster. I mean, it does, but it doesn't.
The first crow that she lets out early in the morning is very indicative of a rooster. But then after that, it's downhill. It's like she ran out of.
Well, it's funny because she gets that first note out and it's a pause. And then the rest of it comes out.
She, it's not something that happens that regularly.
Oh,
and the fact that we've had 2 hens in the past that have done this it's really strange.
It is funny.
It's really strange to me.
It's funny.
And little Aunt B, she's in there with her, and she's just looking like, you are not you're not a man, you're a ma'am.
It's funny that I talked about it in the video, but Louise would just, our older hen, the first one we saw do it, she would get worked up.
She put on a show.
I mean, she would get worked up. I mean, it took a long time for it to come out, Louise. I mean, she
was flapping her wings, and she'd get up high and
do all this hopping.
But hers wasn't just in the morning. Hers would be at all times of the day.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So Louise, maybe, the black silky doesn't have a name.
So Louise.
Louise too. Louise no longer with us. She was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But Louise. Yep, that's her name. Louise too. Mm-hmm. Louise too. Do we read our emails, or does somebody read them for them? We read them ourselves, but we'll
get backed up.
We get backed up. We put a star beside it. We make a draft. Sometimes we think we've responded to something, and
unless it goes to a unless you're emailing the orders. Now the orders are done by Jacqueline and Zach,
and they're on top of things, unlike us sometimes.
But the personal emails come to us. Now a lot of emails do get hit by our spam filter too. I don't know why.
Yeah,
but we get y'all would not believe the spam we get. Hundreds.
As a matter of fact, when Lakeland Farms emailed us, it went to spam.
Mm-hmm.
And thank goodness, they reached out to us in another way, because we would have never known that they were trying to work with us on some cattle equipment.
Yeah, that's right.
Mary Carl does not need the star on her license. You do need to be 18 in order to get the star. Mm-hmm. So,
and I'm talking about Louise crowing. I got a video of her. I got it.
You do.
It's I keep just about all our videos, and I got them on external hard drives, and so I'm going to look and see if I can find that post.
So there's one other hen in there with them.
Yeah,
it's Aunt B.
Yeah,
it's Louise too.
Right.
We got to name that third one Thelma.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody just said that, and I think that was a good idea.
We did read your email about your great uncle's horse that sat down beside him.
Yes. As a matter of fact, we were telling Mary Carl about that, and I thought I responded to you, so I apologize for not.
Yep.
What was her name? Was it Marcy?
I guess call now. I can't.
Oh yes, no, it's not. No, Marcy ordered. Okay. Marcy emailed the orders, and they got back to me.
Okay, no one got back to me. Also email. I don't remember Marcy.
Well, if somebody doesn't get back to you and it's something that we need to respond to, please email again. And we've said this over and over again, but things just get missed.
Unless it goes to a spam filter. I don't know what flags people's emails for spam, but they do get flagged.
Well, somebody told me the other day that they wrote me a letter and sent it in the mail and said that they could not send me an email for some reason. So when I got the letter, I sent them email, and I said, Jean, I believe her name was Jean.
Uh-huh.
I said, can you get this email? And I just replied to a previous email. She said, yes, I got it, but I can't send you anything like if it's created and sent to us. She could reply in that thread.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, if it's something that needs to be addressed, even if it's 2 orders and they don't get back with you, email them again, because we all have things that make our mind go sidetracked, and
or it may get hit by the spam
it may
filter.
have got hit by the sand. And I don't know what you're to do in that case.
Email us and maybe we can.
Yeah.
But they said they emailed us though. I don't know. I just didn't. I don't know what it's about. Email us again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Y'all know I'm not technologically savvy, and I never will be. It's not. It's not that I don't want to be. I just was born that way.
Yeah.
We were talking to somebody the other day, and Jason was like, "She can't do it. She just can't do it." Who are we talking to? It was probably Lee about that bulldozer.
I can't remember.
You're probably telling Lee if it's got buttons or if it's got electronics, you don't need Brooke to do it.
Yeah.
I do better with manual things.
You do.
I even wish my car was a 5-speed.
Which don't make many of those anymore.
No, they don't. But you get you one of them old Firebirds, you make sure you get you a 5-speed.
That's right.
Growing up, I had a 5-speed, and growing
Me
up.
too.
Well, not till I turned 16. I didn't have a 5-speed, but our driveway when we lived in a neighborhood was straight up the hill, y'all. I mean, I'm talking about like this on Dixie Drive. My friends were like, well, they didn't have a 5-speed, but you talk about needing to know how to work the clutch, and that was when you got ready to go up that hill.
That hill, and the worst one was leaving the funeral home.
Oh my goodness!
So
my mama would start out at the bottom of the hill.
Oh yeah. So Brooke's dad worked at the funeral home, and then he got me hired at the funeral home, and so to leave the funeral home, it was like this. And of course, I had a 5-speed, and you had to rock. If you have a 5-speed, you know what I'm talking about. You got the old rock. You just That's how I did it. And just waiting for it to clear.
And you looked in your mirror the whole time thinking, I hope nobody
comes behind me. Yeah.
Yeah, luckily you could see the street left and right. And my mom would start at the bottom. And even though she knew how to drive a 5-speed, she didn't feel comfortable sitting on that hill, rocking back and forth. So yeah, I wish I had a 5-speed now, but I don't want a 5-speed. I want a car that's a 5-speed. Those Jeeps and trucks and all that stuff is hard. Volkswagen's 5-speed though. It might need some WD-40.
It is a 5-speed.
It sure is, but the 5-speed is not like this.
Yep.
It's backwards. That's why I bought a little sticker to go there to show where I need to shift next. Maybe it's a good thing we don't have anything else.
Well, I do have that on there.
Oh, did you put the new knob on there?
The new knob's on there, but the extension
wouldn't go with it.
The threads are not the right threads.
That's what I thought.
It's not going all the way down on there.
But it's on there?
No, I took the extension off.
Well, at least the sticker's on there.
That's on there.
Okay, good. Yeah. Because it's not a regular pattern.
Right.
It's different.
It's different.
Yep. So maybe it's a good thing we don't have 2 5-speeds, one regular and one Volkswagen, because I would get mixed up.
That's true.
But I can sure enough drive a 5-speed. And I tried to teach my friend Kelly. She was my best friend, and all through high school and in college years. And we spent many, many hours in the back of the Selma Mall because it was never any cars back there. And I tried to teach her to drive a 5-speed. And I don't care if I taught her 100,000 times, she couldn't get it.
She didn't get it.
She couldn't get it. I don't know if that's Mary Carl or Thunder.
That was Thunder.
Oh. Well, I was scared.
Still rumbling.
I was scared she was going to burn my clutch up.
It will, because the first truck I had was a little Nissan pickup truck, and I burnt the clutch in it twice.
I never burnt the clutch up, but Kelly could have. And she can't drive a 5-speed to this day. Poor thing.
Yep. I burnt the clutch up twice.
Catherine said it is thundering and lightning.
I hear it.
Catherine, keep it over on your side. Just bring us the rain.
We need the rain bad.
Bring us the rain. Oh, goodness.
Volkswagen Rabbit. That reminds me, my friend Chip, his dad had a Volkswagen Rabbit. And we loved that car. It was a little hatchback, silver. And he had a field. Chip's house had a field next door. It just open field. And so Chip's dad, Mr. Bob, he didn't care if we drove the car in the field. And you could get that thing and wah, and get to going and put in neutral and pull up that emergency brake.
Oh my goodness, Jason. I never did anything like that. I never did anything like that.
Oh man, that was some fun. We had some fun in that rabbit.
On my little 5-speed car, the first one I got was it wasn't a 5-speed. The first one I got was my mama's old car.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 1981 Toyota Corolla.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an automatic. But my daddy came across in a trade a 86 hatchback Corolla that was a 5-speed. And so he traded somehow and got this newer car for me, and I already knew how to drive a 5-speed, so it wasn't that big of an adjustment. But this car was a hatchback, and boy, I thought I was something. But it had this visor thing, these vents in the back of it. And me and Kelly, we didn't like that. We thought that
the little louvers in the back.
Yeah. You couldn't see out the back window.
I know what you're talking about. My mama got a midlife crisis car, and it was a 280ZX. That's what she called it. Turbo.
And well, you're almost there.
280ZX. She got it.
There's no almost to it. You are there. I'm not.
And she got it, and that's what she called it. And I'm telling you, I'd love to drive that car now.
So did y'all leave the louvers in the back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I took mine out. Me and Kelly got those things, and we got them out of there. And my daddy got home, and he said, "Why did you take that vent out of the back?" I said, "Because I couldn't see good out of the back window," which was the best thing I could have possibly said. If I'd have said it was ugly, I probably would have gotten in trouble. So the fact that I couldn't see, you couldn't see out of it.
That's right.
It made it all.
That's
good.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So we got those vents out, and that car being 5 years newer, had less miles on it, and just was a little bit better value. Ended up being my car until I bought my first car, and that was from working at Winn-Dixie. I bought my first car.
I saw a comment. Nancy, she said that she had her Plymouth Roadrunner stick shift. Said she loved that car. Nancy, man, if you had that car now, ooh.
Think back on the things that you wish you had never gotten rid of.
I saw somebody said they had a 68 GTO that had a stick. I mean, those cars now are, especially if they're in good-looking condition, are going for especially the Roadrunners. Those Roadrunners are crazy right now. Did yours have the big wing on the back? That's what I got to know. Did you have the big wing on the back, Nancy? I mean, a guy I worked with had one when I was an outside sales rep for auto parts company. Marion. I went to the Marion store, and his was yellow. His was a Bumblebee. It wasn't a Roadrunner. Take that back. His was a Super Bee or Bumblebee, what they called it. I thought it was a Roadrunner now. Gorgeous car.
Was he an older guy?
Oh, he was older.
Because it doesn't seem like, during that time, younger kids, Chad LeBou was the only one that I ever knew had an old car. And he had that 56 Chevy.
Oh, yeah. No, this was an older gentleman. He ran the store. And
Jamie Bender did. He had a 65 Mustang.
Did he?
Yep. He drove it to school every day.
Well, I'm trying to think of his name. I cannot think of his name. But he was countryer than Cornbread. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, he was one of the most countryest people I think I've ever known. He did. He smoked. And he smoked so much that his two fingers were completely yellow.
Oh my.
And when he smoked, he would talk and he'd rub. It was like a twitch.
Michael said Chad still got that car. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. And so when he would take that and he would take a puff and he would rub his shoulder. It was just like a little twitch. So every shirt he had a yellow stripe on it.
Oh my
From him
goodness.
rubbing that cigarette on his shoulder right there. Every single one of them.
That's funny.
Every single one. But so a fella I knew worked with him before I did. And he had to go to his house. And he said it was in the middle of August. And he said, lo and behold, right there in the front window was his Christmas tree. And he asked him, he said, why in the world have you not taken down your Christmas tree? And he said, that's crazy. He said, I've thought about it. That's crazy. Why would I? He said, I just turned the lights off. I'd leave it decorated and everything.
Well, did he live alone?
He lived alone.
I was gonna say that his wife probably got mad at him trying to get that stain out of his shirt.
So no, so what he did was his Christmas tree stayed up year round. He just unplugged it and just stayed decorated and everything. So when Christmas came around, he just plugged it right back up.
In my opinion, that's a smart man. That's a smart man. I just don't enjoy putting a Christmas tree up or taking it down, for goodness sakes. So if you could leave it up all year round and you didn't have anybody that was fussing about it, just do it.
He left it up all the time.
Do what works for you.
All the time, right there.
Huh. So I got rid of my 1986 Toyota Corolla that I took the VIN out of, and I got me a job at Winn-Dixie, and I bought a 1989 Honda Accord 5-speed, and I drove that car until Jason and I got married.
That's right.
That was probably my favorite car, and I think it had to do with me buying it with my own money.
Yeah, I bet it did.
And, it was on the part of the lot where the stuff was going to be wholesaled because it had a broken driver's door handle. It was really the only thing wrong with it, and it was a 5-speed, and nobody wanted a 5-speed. And this was 1995, 96, 97, something like that. So, yeah, it just, I got it for a good deal. $2,166.43.
You remember because you had to write the check.
I had to write that big check.
You had to write the check.
Yeah, it was a really good deal. But my daddy did let me trade that little Corolla, or he sold it, and I got that money to put down on the car.
That's right.
I wrote the check plus the Toyota was given to me for putting down on it.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of people that had cars in the 60s and 70s. To me, that is the greatest car era.
We were talking about it to Caden just the other day.
Sure was. That is, to me, that is the great. Oh, somebody had a 77 Formula Firebird. DD did. Get out of town, DD.
I bet my DD wish she had a 60.
The Formula didn't have the shaker hood like the Smokey and Bandit.
Okay.
Like that's why it was called a Firebird.
Oh, okay.
It had the shaker hood and the Firebird package. The Formula, usually the Formulas were two-tone. I wonder if DD's was two-tone. I wonder if Nancy said if she had the big wing or not. I probably missed it. But to me, the 60s and 70s era, those cars, even somebody said they had the Grand Prix and it was a big old car. I even love those. Big, long. They gave me 2 doors. And that door would be 8 foot long when you open it up. It'd swing all out.
I saw Michael said something about a car that Ben's mama had, and I don't remember the car that she had. Michael, what was that black car that Mr. Jimmy had that was really old? It stayed up under their carport. We used to play in the back of it. It was old. I mean, this car was like a 1920s, 30s something. And it was, oh my goodness, we thought we were something playing in the back of that car.
DD's Firebird was pale metallic blue with the decals. You could get the Formula in two-tone, though. The top would be one color and the bottom would be a different color on that.
Well, you don't see those. They must have just not made it.
They wasn't as near as popular as the Firebird.
Huh.
But yeah, Firebird was probably most popular right there.
So that was the difference in the Formula One and the Firebird, was no hood scoop and no Firebird on the hood.
They didn't have the Firebird on it, and it said had a Formula package.
Michael Key said
he can still smell the inside.
I can too, but I can't remember what that car was. I mean, it was old, y'all. We rode in it one time to town, and boy, we thought we were something. It was old.
It was old.
It was like something you'd see in, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
My nanny had a 2-door Oldsmobile, and I remember it was brown and had the brown, vinyl seats, and I can smell it right now. And her switches. My nanny.
She had 16 switches?
No, she not them kind of switches.
Oh.
She wasn't going.
That's what I thought you were talking about. Michael Key kind of switches. Michael had that little white Toyota forever.
Oh, my nanny had the switches on her dash in case the grandkids cut up. Yeah.
She had those switches.
She had them switches.
She didn't have the 16 switches.
Yeah, and my nanny, sweetest lady you ever did meet. She was little bitty. How tall was my nanny?
About 3 foot.
She was.
No kidding, y'all. She was probably 4'2" maybe.
Mm-hmm.
She was little.
She was little.
But I wonder if she was always that little.
I think so. Then she was little. So, but Nanny she'd have a few switches on there on her dash, and
she probably needed them.
If us rowdy grandkids, because we was rowdy, we was ready. If we acted up, Nanny'd get one. And
okay, there's Michael, a 1938 Ford. I told y'all it was old.
She'd get to whooping them switches back there, and you was hitting the floorboard because we didn't wear seatbelts back then.
No,
we were in the floorboard. Quick, boom.
Yeah. I remember my cousins. My Meemaw had this big old yellow car. I guess it was an Oldsmobile. Big long car. It looked like a banana. And I always thought it was the ugliest thing. Of course, you never said anything. Me and my cousins had to, she had to let that seat up, and we had to climb in the back. And we came to Clanton to visit some relatives. This was when, we lived in Selma. Mm-hmm. And my cousins didn't get to eat a lot of junk food. And so I'm riding in the middle, and my cousins are on both sides of me. And Meemaw had gotten them a bag of cheese puffs. And those kids were much younger than me. Some of those kids, when you can't ride without falling asleep.
Yeah.
Well, they fell asleep eating them cheese puffs. And y'all, when we got to Clanton where we were going, both of them had orange. And they had these smocked, nice clothes on.
Oh, goodness.
Their fingers, their mouth, their clothes, everything was covered in that cheese from those cheese puffs. Oh, it was funny. We could sit here and talk all night, but we've been too long.
Oh, I love getting in the back window too. Oh my gracious. I love getting in that back dash in them old cars. That's what Diane, I think it was Diana said that. I did. We would go to
That's why your grandma had the switches.
Oh yeah,
You get in trouble.
You get in trouble.
I don't remember ever doing that.
You remember getting in the back dash?
No, because I probably knew better.
I tell you, my favorite car, Granddaddy had one and Mom and Dad had one, was a station wagon. And riding in the back of that station wagon, looking up at the stars because they had a little slant back window.
Michael said they still have that Ford.
Really?
I figured Mr. Jimmy wouldn't part with that car.
But I love riding in the back of that station wagon.
And we always had a little old Toyota, and it never had, it didn't have air conditioner, of course. Nobody did back then, but little 2-door Toyotas, little 5-speeds. That's what, because there wasn't but 3 of us.
Yeah.
And that's what we always had. We never needed a big car. My daddy worked on them by himself, and he could just, he could take care of it. But I don't see many of those cars on the road either.
You don't.
I sure don't.
You really don't. The back dash, I got a quick story and we'll let everybody go. But the back dash, I will never forget. My aunt, we went to the movie theater and was driving in. And they charged you by the car. It wasn't by how many people was in the car. This drive-in charged you by the car. So me and all my cousins, we all went. And, it was packed in there. And one of us was on the back dash to get into the drive-in.
The Toyota wouldn't have worked for y'all.
No, I think she had a big 70-something model T-Bird, and the driver's seat swiveled. So the driver's seat actually.
The Volkswagen does too. You know that?
I know that, but this was the driver's seat. It swiveled, and it swiveled not the Volkswagen passenger seat swiveled, so you're facing the back because it's a camper.
Yeah.
This.
Why would you want the driver's seat to swivel?
So you could get out easy. It swiveled, and you just get on out.
Oh, I bet they thought that was a fine feature at the time. Huh.
Back dash.
How about that?
Yep. No big wing.
That is interesting.
Nancy didn't have the big wing on her.
She didn't have
Road
a big
Runner,
wing.
but a lot of Road Runners had that big wing
on. Goodness.
I bet it was still beautiful. Man, that's a good looking car, them Road Runners.
I think we could talk till 8 or 9 o'clock.
I know it.
And y'all would enjoy probably talking right along with memories of the car.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Ryan the Rooster? He's fine.
He's back in there with the girls.
We hadn't showed him, but he's back in there with the girls.
Yep.
And the Rooster went to his new home. All is well. Ryan's recovered, so to speak. He still got a little dark.
Somebody had the Malibu. Robin had the Malibu with the swivel seats. Maybe hers was a Malibu, not a Thunderbird. For some reason, I thought it was a Thunderbird, but hers had the swivel seat.
It's funny how they come up with different little features. They think that's going to outsell the next one, the competition.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it be Chevy and they came out with a swivel seat because Ford ain't got one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what's for dinner?
What's for dinner?
Well, we had Main Street Cafe for lunch, and y'all know what that means. Brooke's not cooking.
Yeah, we did. We're full. I'm still full.
I'm still full too. Now,
I'm
Mary
still
Carl,
full.
I'll need to fix her something. But as far as me and Jason go, I'm probably gonna have my popcorn tonight, and he'll probably have some of that good old cereal you've been eating, pumpkin seed and flaxseed.
Yes, or some type of organic cereal that I like.
Yeah. So, what does everybody else have?
Pinto beans and cornbread.
I see pizza, spaghetti, taco salad.
When somebody says pinto beans and cornbread, they have to live in the Southeast.
They have to. You would think. You would think.
You would think. Ham and potatoes. That sounds
My
good.
grandson's cooking for me.
Woo!
Wow. You got it going on. 2 pounds of barbecue. Ooh.
Leftovers.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, Michael's having some chicken sliders.
Is he? Michael, he's going to have to come over here and cook for us. Like that lady's grandson. Michael's going to be cooking for the
barbecue
Smiths.
Chicken. Did it say onion rings? It went by so fast.
There's a chicken fajitas. That sounds good too.
Shrimp and mushrooms, Brooke.
You thought you was going to catch me on that one. I don't like mushrooms, y'all. Yogurt with fruit and whipped cream.
Hot dogs and mac and cheese. There's a cool hawk in Tanya's tree.
All right, Tanya. Take a picture of it and send it to me, please.
Brunswick stew and crackers. So somebody said that Chrysler was one of the first ones that come out with a swivel seat.
Oh, so everybody else tried to copy
Everybody
it.
copies Chrysler.
Chicken pot pie.
Chicken wings.
All right. So I wanted to share something before we go, and that is that I've gotten a few emails from you guys telling me that the Luberson with the MSM is out of stock. And I reached out to the company, and they told me that they are getting that back in stock as soon as they can. It should be within a couple of 2 weeks. But just know that they are replenishing it, and they did not expect to sell as much as they did over the weekend. It's been on order, but it's going to still take a couple of weeks. They do offer gift cards. If that's something that you would like to offer to somebody, but you don't know what they want, you can buy a gift card. I guess you'll get 25% off the gift card.
Don't ask me, Brooke.
I don't know if you can take 25% off the gift card or not. But
Jackie don't like mushrooms either, Brooke.
Good. I mean, I ain't gonna go out and badmouth them, but I don't like them.
Sloppy Joe. I'm putting in a request, Brooke. I want some sloppy joes. Either that recipe I sent you the other day.
The recipe you sent me was with chicken.
Yeah.
It was a chicken sloppy joe.
But I want some sloppy joes.
But here's the thing: is I got a freezer full of beef that we bought from Calfee Cattle.
Okay.
You know, farm raised beef.
Let's do that.
I have to buy the chicken.
Let's do that.
So we're just gonna have regular sloppy joes.
Cindy having a ham sandwich.
Needless to say, that the Luberson is on our website. If you guys are having a hard time finding it, www.coghillfarm.com, or if you go to Luberson's website, it is Cog Hill to save 25% off.
That's the promo code, yeah.
COGHILL, all one word, 25% off your entire order.
Joes. Wow. There's a lot of people that don't like mushrooms. I can tell you this.
Mary Carl she thinks it's so funny.
There's a lot of people that don't like mushrooms.
I can't even think about it. If I have a pizza and it's got mushrooms on it, for the longest time, y'all, I'd eat pizza, and I would say something on there I don't like, but I never could figure it out.
The mushrooms.
It was mushrooms. I know it now. I'm not eating no mushrooms.
Pesto and pasta. After y'all hang up with us, y'all go check out Chestnut Hill's video. Comes out right after we get off this live.
That's right. Mr. Rhett had a little something happen to him, Farmer Rhett. And I saw him on Saturday, and I knew he wasn't doing real good. And then he expedited from that point forward. So y'all go check out Nick and Zoe at Chestnut Hills Farmstead video. And we plan to be back here Saturday morning and a video tomorrow. And y'all, listen to this. The video tomorrow is going to shock y'all, because it shocked me and Brooke. Especially, I went down a deep rabbit hole. Yeah, y'all be prepared for tomorrow, because it's fun. And sit down with your coffee
It's gonna be a doozy.
Sit down with your coffee and just have your mouth open. You know, somebody said one time before, why do you hold your mouth open on the lives, Brooke? Because I'm getting prepared for Jason's video tomorrow.
Oh man.
Scammer on here. Go away.
Oh goodness. I'm
Sorry about
sorry.
that, y'all. We'll try to get rid of them, but they happen. And speaking of that, one more thing I wanted to say. If y'all get a text on your phone and they're telling you owe a toll fee.
Got another one today.
I got one today too. Mary Carl's getting them. You probably don't owe a toll fee because I have not been through any toll bridges.
Yep.
And it's a new scam. They want you to click on this link and don't do it. Don't do it. Yep. It's a scam. I'm tired of scammers.
That's
and
right.
Y'all are too, I know.
That's right.
So just tell them to all go find something else to do.
Mm-hmm.
Open your mouth and wait on tomorrow's video.
Shelly got one of them scammers yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they'll tell you toll fee and All right, y'all. Until next time.
Y'all be good. Y'all, I'm telling you, video's gonna be Saturday y'all gonna go, you was right. We shocked.
We shocked. We real shocked. With what?
I ain't done.
Do it, Jason. I hope that's our